All right. So how many of y'all were able to fix out or get the header file? Remember last week we did the includes? How many of y'all think you got it? Come on, raise your hands. You should have gotten it, right? What we did in class when we just moved the style sheet over, right? And all I did was copy that first segment and created header.asp, which actually has the include file for the style sheet. Yes?
I named mine header.css.
Well, yeah. It's not really a CSS file, it's an ASP file, but that's fine. You could have called it header.jpg. So long as you're including that file, it's going to pull it in. Now, I wouldn't tell it to include a JPEG, but just kind of giving you some reference. So if I went over here, open up Google, went to localhost, waiting for the VMs to take their sweet time. Voila, right? Matter of fact, I changed the background on this to, instead of the gray, I went to a black, right? So if I came over here to the style sheet, here's my background color, right? What if I change the color here to right? Let's save it. What is going to happen? Nothing. So that's how you can see where and what it's pulling to. In your style sheet, it said the color is going to be FFFF, right? Which is black. I'm sorry, FFFF is white, right? I always get black and white reversed on those. Zeros are black. In this case, we did 1, so it's a little less than black. So we messed around with the colors a little bit, right? Last week, everyone remember that? So today, I said what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the style sheet. What is its purpose? Bryce, what do you think the purpose of a style sheet is?
The purpose of the style sheet is to set up how the design of the website's kind of flowing.
The look, the feel. It makes it one central place to change all the colors, all the schemes, everything about the web page itself in that one area. Everyone with me? Have I lost anybody? Okay. Right here, a image, border none. What that means is if I have an image, a hyperreferenced image or image source tag, you remember on most sites you'd see this little purple that goes around it for the active link, visited link. That's what it does. It takes that border away so it's not there. So when we go to look at this image, there is no real border here. This gray that you see here is actually the image. Does it make sense? My web programmers? Isn't that right? Okay. Just making sure. There are a lot of different ways that you can do style sheets. So let's go back over here. Let's do this. Let's go to style sheets in HTML. There's my W3. Okay, basically all this does is it talks to you about what style sheets do. The whole purpose of a style sheet is to give you an additional tags to where you can create environments in what we call divisions. Okay? How many of y'all have seen that div section? div. What that does is it says this little section, and if I notate it, the property or name that property, I can name it inside of the style sheet, and it will pull in all those style sheets to that particular area. Okay? It's pretty handy. For example, if I have this P special right here. The paragraph special, color green, border solid red. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to put it in Notepad underneath inside my style sheet area. So what this is saying, when I have a paragraph tag with the ID special, all right, my color of the text, or my color of that area, will be green. The border will be red. And then let's just do, I'll leave that for now. Now, I'm going to take this class special right here. This paragraph should have a special green text. Okay, y'all with me? All I'm doing is copying from this website. This is the P, and they didn't finish out this tag, did they? They forgot the close P. So let's go back to default. Yes, John, just a second.
Can we do the lights like we did last week?
Sure. Nope, the other one, Adam. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, notice now I put in here P class special, and what I'm actually going to do here is, since they did not do it, I'm closing out my paragraph tag. Okay. So we have two different classes. You have, if you do it with a div, if you ID it as container, which is this right here, then everything inside that container will have this information. Does that make sense? If you're doing it with ID, you have to use the percent, or the pounds hashtag, I guess you'd call it. And that just says, if I'm looking for it as an ID, I have to do it this way. If I'm looking for it as a type of tag, I put the tag in, whether it's a tag, a body tag, and then anything that you want to do of that particular area, you put inside those braces. So now that we've actually created the P tag with the ID special, right? We have the green and the solid red. Now I want to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to copy this tag again. So we're going to have two different paragraphs. But I'm going to take out this class name. And I want to show you the difference of what it will do. All right. Should not okay. Okay. I hate blowing up font because it keeps jumping around, like we had that spacing issue last week. All right, now that I've saved that, let's go back to this page. Now I'm going to reload it and see, because I have that special is my container for it. I've labeled my container, so everything that was in that container will be affected by that. When I removed that container's name, or the ID being special, notice it should not have it, right? So hang on for just a second. I want to get rid of this. Make it a little easier for everyone to see. Okay, y'all see now? Is that easier for y'all to see since instead of scrolling down? This is right here where we have this specialization. Let me do it this way so we can get the side-by-side comparison. Where I have my class special, I identified it in the style sheet right here. So since it did not match that tag, the paragraph tag with the special container, it's just a normal paragraph. I have not defined a normal paragraph, right? In my style sheet. So let's take this special tag right here for the paragraph. And I'm going to take off the container special. Let's make it blue and orange. Okay? So if I reload it, of course it didn't understand what orange was, but or may have misspelled it. What did it not? Water green. Oh, I gotta tell it what type. Now you see how it does it. It references to whether you give it an ID or you don't. So if you're just going to have a bunch of paragraph tags, then you just call it P. But if you just want one to be special, like bold, print, all that stuff, then you can identify that with a special tag or a container type. Everyone with me? You can do this. Yes, Carolyn?
Where did you get, I'm sorry I got.
No.
Where did you get where you copied the text from? I know it was www.w3.org.
Right, and it gave me TR HTML401.
Did you just find that?
Yeah, I just went to Google and just stole it from one of the pages.
Search for style sheets and HTML.
Yep, style sheets and HTML is what I searched for. And I think this is like the third one that came up. Oh, the first one that came up right here. And then you can also do, you can choose any one of the ones you want. But that gives you a lot of understanding of how basic style sheets really are. And so let's say we're in spring, right? We're in Easter. What's a good color?
664D84.
What color is that?
Purple.
So you said 6648D4?
D84.
Oh, DA4? That's kind of hard to read now, isn't it? But being as it said, how long or how easy is it to change the entire website? You can make a case statement depending on, and have the page, when we get into Java, using the JavaScript, we'll create a case statement. So it depends on what day of the month or what month it is, it will automatically change your entire theme for your website. So it reads in the date from a getDate function, which we talked a little bit earlier this semester about, right? Some of the functionalities in JavaScript. Let's say today is April 16th, which it is. It's Easter time, right? So everyone in the month, every time in April, you could have, for the first 5 days, you could have an Easter background with Easter eggs. Then the next one have a bunny, and you can change your themes around depending on dates and times. That's why style sheets are so cool, because you create a style sheet, and you can name the style sheet whatever you want to, obviously, and then do your case. If the date is from this range to this range, use this style sheet. And you include that JavaScript as the include file in your HTML or your ASP page. Are y'all following along with what I'm saying here? So that gives you a chance to have more functionality. So when I say, I want you to be able to do that by implementing a case statement, which we will get to here when we start talking about JavaScript next week. We're going to create I want you to find pictures of backgrounds for each month of the year. So in January, what kind of theme comes to mind in January? Snow? New Year's maybe? So you're thinking snow. Well, find a snowy background that we can use as a background image for your page. The second one, what about February? Valentine's Day, right? Hearts, red, that kind of stuff. What about March? Green grass? Maybe.
Yes, green.
Do what?
Green beer.
Green beer? I see someone has allergies. Someone has St. Patrick's Day on their mind. Then what about April? Easter eggs, right? We just talked about Easter. What about May? Flowers. Mother's Day.
Tornadoes.
You're in Oklahoma, all right. What about June? What?
Sun, heat.
Heat? I'd say that'd be more August, but yeah. It's still heat. That's when the heat starts.
Swimming pools, maybe?
Swimming pools might be a good thing because it's right after Labor Day. No, Memorial Day. July.
Fireworks.
Fireworks, Independence Day, catch your grass on fire days, right?
Sparkle ball.
You know, your creative juices are starting to flow now because you understand how we can change this one month after the next, right? We'll talk about a case statement and how to set this up. Then we have August. What do you see? What do you think about August? What about back to school signs
Yeah. Lots of
or school bills,
Right.
books, things like that? What about September? Football. It's kind of a sporty month. What about October?
lanterns.
And then November, turkeys. December, you'd have all sorts of wonderful stuff, right? So you can see how themes websites are kind of neat. I actually did that for the client that I showed y'all with the photography, and I actually had a couple webmasters call me and ask me how I did that. I said, "Really? You didn't think to put it in a case statement, and the case statement depended on whatever the case was, depended on your style sheet that you used?" And I said I just did it by months. Case month February, case month January. And he was like, "Really?" I said, "Duh." So I mean, it's those kind of things that you get in your creative juices. How do you want this website to function for you, right? Pretty straightforward. So that's what style sheets do for you, is they allow you to do multiple colors, multiple changes to maybe market certain types of clients. So if you're going to gear a page towards a mother, what kind of things would you want to put on it? What kind of colors?
Soft colors.
Soft colors?
pastels.
Maybe stuff like baby binkies and toys and things like that, right? Making the mothers think about it. If you're going to do it with the dad, what are you going to do? Hard colors, NASCAR, football, sporty kind of stuff, fishing, maybe some woodworking kind of stuff. So, I mean, it really depends on what your target audience is. You have to think about that as well. Like I said, this is just the body tag itself. So any type of tag, bold tags, underline tags, any type of special treatment that you want to give to any HTML tag, this is how you do it. Now, if you want to differentiate a body versus a body with dot Joe, so that you have two different body backgrounds, you do it that way too. So that when you're in the body section, which really is not a good illustration, should be more of a paragraph. But anytime you're in this different section with this ID that you've specialized to differentiate you between the normal tag and the regular tag, you'll get two different types of styles. All right, any questions? Have I thoroughly confused you?
Will you go back to your default
To my default page?
and just let me,
Not a problem.
because you had to change it to do,
Right. All I did was added the /p, the in tag for the paragraph because they didn't put it on their website. And the only difference between this tag and the other is that I gave it as a class. Do what?
you copied that one from a different place.
No, I copied. It was on that website.
Well, but, right.
And all I did here is I scrolled down right here. Here's the what goes in the style sheet, and all I did was copy
Here, I see it.
that line right there. Oh, not a problem. And I mean, you can add more. Like if you want a specific style sheet, you can come in here and say, it's going to my meta tag is going to tell me, hey, I've got a style sheet if I want to do that. I can change all the files and types, and there's a lot of things you can do. That gets into more of meta information, which I'm not going to get into. Is there any questions on that? I know style sheet there is not really in depth, but what I want you to do is I want you to play around with the style sheet today. I want you to go in and create your own tags, your specialized tags, like where we have this class special. I want you to go in, change it to what you want your background to look like. Everyone with me? How many people have I lost? Not completely. Basically, I want you to come into your page. I want you to, you can take out this special green text thing or whatever. Here in your paragraph tags, like you would normally write your web page in. I want you to design your web page with just blank introduction about yourself. You're going to have 3 paragraphs. I want each paragraph to have a different container specialization. So it'd be like class special 1, class special 2. Does it make sense? And then in your style sheet, you're going to have p.special, p.special 1, p.special 2. Because where you see special right here is identifying this class name special.
So you have to have them both classes?
Yes.
Okay.
Does it make sense? So what you're going to do tonight is you're going to work on it to give you your basic CSS style of how your favorite colors, your idea of what you want is your background, your paragraph, how big the font you want. You may have to do a little bit of Google searching to find out how to do a specific tag for fonts or for paragraphs and or whatever you want to do. Okay, but basically, like I said, if you do a font, you could just do the font tag, font class ID special, and then just close out the font. And so anything inside that font tag would be whatever you did in the specialization. Questions? Shall I leave this up here for you so you can go back and forth?
That would be awesome.
Okay. I just want to make sure that everyone gets it, and then I can go back. I'm going to walk around and help you with questions that you have. So everyone's cool with style sheets now? Or, well, I mean, knows kind of what you're doing. I know the web programmers probably already got it done. They're probably like, what's next? Right, Melissa? You wouldn't say that. Andrea, what do you think? Cole? You okay with it? All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and stop my lecture now, and then I'll walk around and help y'all out.